Well, the letters, in many ways, I think they're very layered productions because they are written to one named addressee, but they've been reworked and very much, I think, shaped with a view to a much wider audience. And I think a particularly interesting example of this is actually one of the set texts, letter 616, to Tacitus about the eruption of Vesuvius. Because although that is written to a named individual, Tacitus, basically in request to Tacitus's response that he wants some information about Pliny's uncle, Pliny the Elder's death in this spectacular eruption in 79 AD. Nonetheless, it's actually written in a way that I think presupposes that it might survive in its own right. And indeed, it's an interesting letter, particularly because the part of Tacitus's work, the histories for which this material, this raw material, was actually intended, unfortunately hasn't survived. But I think in writing this, Pliny would have had the expectation that this letter was going to survive in its own right, and that people might have looked at it alongside what Tacitus eventually did with it in his narrative of the Flavians. So there are multiple circles of recipients and audiences, including for us today, and that comes out again in the Vesuvius letter, that he's writing for Tacitus, who is addressing posterity, effectively us sitting here today. And Pliny, I think, also is writing very much with an eye on that longer term audience as well. So letters are not the highest genre in the ancient world, but I think nonetheless these are ambitious pieces of writing.